Okay, kung napansin nyo, dun sa mga previous na examples, yung discussion or yung solution na ginagamit natin involves using a lot of integration, right? And of course, gusto natin na mapadali yung buhay natin, right? Diba? Yes. One way to do that is to shift to another course. Okay, na hindi ganong gumagamit ng integration. Tama? Pero, of course, sa physics, meron ding mga methods na natututunan ng mga earlier mga scientists or mathematicians to make things easier. And one of these things or one of these methods para mapadali ang pag-compute ng or pag-determine ng electric field is tinatawag na Gauss law. Okay? So, nag-wow ka agad. Wala pa nga ako. Wow, ano yun? Wow. Ano ang Gauss law? Okay, so basically, ito yung idea. Okay? You're going to select a surface. Okay? Okay. And ang surface na yon will enclose a charge or a set of charges. Okay? Siyempre, pag sinabing surface, ang isang pwede nyo maisip is a box. Diba? Like yung nakikita nyo dyan sa left. So, yan ay isang box. Okay? And inside that box, hindi nyo alam kung ano yung amount of charges. On the other hand, okay, you can determine kung ano yung laman ng charge, kung ano yung laman ng box, okay, by placing a test charge outside the box. Okay? Test charge outside the box. Tapos, one way to know, of course, yung sign is how the test charge reacts. Okay, the sign of the charge inside the box, di ba? So, halimbawa, di nyo alam yung laman ng box, maglagay kayo ng test charge sa labas, and kung paano magre-react yung test charge will determine kung ano yung, first of all, sign ng charge sa loob ng box, right? Like for example, if we put a positive test charge outside the box and nakaramdam siya ng electric field na away from the box, alam niya okay, na yung charge sa loob ng box is positive. Right? Right. Okay. Secondly, pwede rin natin malaman kung gaano karaming charges ang present by determining yung force na nararamdaman ng test charge. So, when we know or when the test charge feels the force, ma-measure niya yung force na to and it will be able to know kung gaano karaming charges ang present sa tawag dito sa loob ng box. Okay? Basically, ganun ang Gauss law. So, you determine a surface, okay, and use a test charge outside that surface to determine kung ano yung charge na nilalaman ng box. Okay, so let's see how that works. Okay, so if you have one charge inside the box, then nagpo-produce siya ng certain amount of electric field, certain number of electric field lines. If you have two charges inside the box, okay, yung electric field lines ay papalabas, di ba? Outside of the box, and dodoble yung electric field lines. Okay, kasi dumoble yung charge. If you have a single negative charge inside the box, okay, yung electric field ay towards the box, diba? Or nagpa-pass through the surface of the box towards the direction of the box. Okay, so doon natin alam na na negative charge siya. And if you have two negative charges it will double, the electric field lines will double. Okay, kasi dalawa yung dalawa yung negative field, dalawa yung negative charges. Okay? So yun yung yun yung idea, o yun yung paraan ng pag-work ng Gauss law. Okay? So if you have a box and you find that there's no electric field coming out of the box or into the box, going into the box, then the electric field is zero, so alam natin na walang charge sa loob. Or merong charge pero equal yung positive at saka yung negative charges. Gets? Kasi nagka-cancel lang yung electric field sila dahil equal yung number of charges, positive and negative. Okay, like in this case. So there are certain number of lines that electric field lines that come out, pero that the number of lines that go in is the same as the number of lines that go out. So when you count all those lines, yung net na electric field will be 0. Okay? Now, you can also, ang tawag dito for surfaces like this one, ang pwede nyong gawin is maglagay kayo ng box, okay, dun sa tapat lang ng surface, not necessarily enclosing the surface. Kasi ang hirap i-close ng isang flat na surface, ang isang flat na surface ng isang box, right? Okay, so you just put the box outside at tignan nyo kung ano yung electric field lines na pumapasok dun sa at lumalabas dun sa box. Okay, and that's how you determine yung electric field na pinoproduce nung sheet na to, for example. Okay? So ano ba tong nakikita natin dito? So actually dito naman binabago yung sizes nung box. Okay? So yung box A contains a positive point charge Q, and it will have an electric field, okay, which is shown in the arrow. Okay? Now, if you double the charge, okay, madodoble yung electric field. Okay? So, yung electric field lines na dumadaan through the box ay madodoble rin. Okay? And anong tawag dito? If you increase the box size, okay, by a certain amount, okay, let's say by twice the amount, yung electric field na lumalabas through the box decreases by 1/4. Bakit 1/4? Kasi your electric field is inversely proportional sa distance. So if you have a box that has a distance, that has a size r from the charge, and if you double the size of that box, so magiging ano na siya, di ba? 2r na yung yung size ng box, di ba? So magkakaroon ka ng 1/4 na decrease dun sa electric field lines. Now, yung lines na lumulusot through each of the surface, okay, nung box na yan, ay tinatawag na flux or electric na flux, okay, pertaining to electric field lines. Okay, kasi later, meron ding tinatawag na magnetic flux pertaining to magnetic field lines that go out of or pass through the surfaces of the box. Okay, so the electric flux, okay, when the electric flux goes outward, then it's a positive charge. The electric flux doubles if the charge doubles, and the electric flux decreases by 4 if you increase the box by twice the original size. Okay? Okay. So now, syempre i-quantify natin yung flux na yan. Narinig niyo na siguro yung flux before, pero hindi siya ginamit na flux. Hindi siya ginamit na flux. Hindi flux yung ginamit na word. Instead, ang ginamit doon ay sa 101, ang ginamit niyo na word ay flow rate, or specifically volume flow rate. Okay? So sa 101, okay, meron kayong fluid na dumadaan through this rectangle. Okay? Yung fluid na yan ay merong velocity. Okay. Tapos yung area na yan, ay sorry, yung loop na yan ay merong area. Okay, and sa 101, define nyo yung area ng loop as a vector quantity. At yung direction ng area, okay, yung arrow that defines yung direction ng area is perpendicular to the surface of the loop. Okay? So again, yung area is not just a scalar quantity, it's a vector quantity. Of course, yung magnitude niya is just the area of the loop. And yung direction niya is ano ba? Direction niya is perpendicular dun sa surface ng loop. Okay? And we call that unit vector n. Okay? N for normal, kaya normal vector. Okay, it's a normal unit vector. So unit yung magnitude nung ano na yan, nung vector na yan. And it just defines yung direction ng area na vector. Okay, so A is equal to yung magnitude ng A and then yung unit vector na N. Okay. So in this case, yung volume flow rate is defined as, if you recall sa 101, it's volume flow rate nga, di ba? So volume flow, so dV, and then yung rate is time, di ba? So time rate of change ng volume. So dV dt. Okay? And you define that as yung dot product ng velocity at saka nung area, or VA cosine phi, where phi is the angle between yung vectors na V at saka yung unit vector na N. Okay? So here, dito sa unang figure, yung phi na yan is 0 kasi same direction yung unit vector na N at saka yung velocity vector. Okay. Pero dito, magkaiba ng direction yung unit vector na N. Okay? Meron ng angle between yung unit vector na N at saka yung velocity vector na V. So here, yung volume flow rate ay bababa. Okay, kasi nagkaroon ka na ng angle. I-multiply mo na siya by a cosine of an angle. Okay, may sense naman yun kasi dito yung nakikitang area na nilulusutan ng ano, 'di ba, ng tawag dito ng water ay mas malaki kumpara sa area na nakikita na nilulusutan ng tubig dito. Gets yun naman yun, di ba? Right? Halimbawa, ito, perpendicular siya. Yan yung nakikita natin na surface area. But if I tilt it like this, ang nakikita lang natin na surface area, mas maliit na. Di ba? Di ba? Ganyan na siya. And if I do this, 90 degrees, wala tayong nakikita na pwedeng lusutan ng tubig. Okay? So yung volume flow rate is maximum in this way, pag parallel yung unit vector na n, at saka yung volume, yung velocity vector. And then pag perpendicular sila sa isa't isa, walang volume flow rate. Zero yung volume flow rate. Okay? Hindi lumulusot kasi sa loop yung tubig. And it's the same principle pagdating sa electric flux. Okay, so sa electric flux, okay, we have this tawag dito, representation. So we define a surface, okay? And we count basically kung gaano karaming electric field lines yung nagpa-pass through sa surface na yan. Okay? Now, yung flux or electric flux is defined as, so we use yung symbol na capital Phi and then subscript na E for the electric flux is defined by yung dot product ng electric field vector at saka ng area vector. And this is for a uniform electric field. Okay, uniform in terms of yung sa space. Pare-pareho yung value niya in space. Okay, so ganun din. Okay, when E and A are parallel sa isa't isa, Okay? Yung electric flux is maximum. Pero pag yung electric field is perpendicular dun sa area, okay, area vector, then walang nilulusutan yung electric field na area, and yung electric flux is zero. Okay. Now, of course, ang electric field hindi naman siya in general uniform. So for a non-uniform electric field, yung flux is defined as the integral of E dot dA. Okay, so for a non-uniform electric field. Okay, teka lang, sabi natin mas madaling solution to. Bakit mag-integrate pa rin tayo? Well, here's the trick. The trick is you have to select a surface na kung saan yung electric field lines ay uniform. Okay? Okay? How do you do that? Okay. Siyempre, magko-consider tayo ng isang example. Let's say na meron kang point charge. Okay, wala dito sa slides eh. Okay? So let's say okay, sige mamaya. Let's say na meron kang point charge. Okay? Pag ginamit natin na surface for the point charge ay square, ay ganito, rectangular na box. Okay? Definitely, iba-iba yung value ng electric field lines sa bawat points ng graph. Kasi iba-iba yung distance ng bawat points, di ba? Nung surface ng box from the charge. Like, from here to here, iba yung distance na yan. And then from here to that corner, iba rin yung distance. So, as you move along the different surfaces of the box, iba-iba yung electric field. In that case, mag-integrate kayo. Right? Right? However, if you choose a surface na sphere, na kung saan, pag sphere kasi pare-pareho yung distance nung tawag dito, nung point charge dun sa surface ng sphere, dahil pare-pareho siya ng distance, pare-pareho lang yung electric field, yung electric field will be constant dun sa surface, right? Pwede mo na siyang ilabas sa integral kasi constant na siya. The only thing you need to do is to determine yung surface area. Integral ng dA. Okay? So yun yung pinaka-trick diyan. Ano ang best na surface? Okay, or you select the best surface such that yung electric field lines become uniform. Okay? Okay? Sige, makakita tayo ng ganyang mga examples in a bit. Okay, so consider muna natin itong first example. Okay, this example just tawag dito is an example to sort of get, allow us to be more familiar sa flux. Okay, so electric flux through a disk. So a disk of radius 0.1 meter is oriented with its normal unit vector n, okay, at 30 degrees to a uniform electric field E of magnitude 2.0 times 10 to the 3 Newton per coulomb. Okay? Okay. Since hindi ito closed surface, it has no inside or outside. Okay? That's, kailangan natin mag-specify nung direction. Okay, letter A. What is the electric flux through the disk? So, tinatanong lang kung ano yung electric flux. So, by definition, ang electric flux is E dot A. Okay, or E A cosine phi. Ang electric field is 2 times 10 to the 3 Newton per coulomb. Tapos yung area is pi, okay, times 0.10 meters squared. Tama? Okay. Times cosine ng angle between yung electric field at saka yung area vector. Anong angle between them? 30 degrees. So yung flux in this case will be equal to 54. Okay, ang unit ng flux is Newton meter squared per coulomb. Okay. So, letter B, what is the flux through the disk if it is turned so that the unit vector n is perpendicular to E? So, anong flux kapag yung n ay perpendicular to the electric field? So, anong angle pag ganun? Ano muna yung angle? 90. Okay. So, ano ngayon yung electric flux? Zero. Okay? Kasi di ba, naka-tilt na ganyan, so walang lumulusot dun sa surface area. Okay. Letter C, what is the flux through disk if N, the area vector, is parallel to the electric field? In this case, ano yung angle? And yung flux dito ay basically 2 times 10 to the 3 Newton per coulomb pi and then 0.10 meters squared. Okay, cosine 0 is 1. So ito ay equal sa 62.8 Newton meter squared per coulomb. Okay. Okay? Okay. Okay. Ito naman. An imaginary cubical surface of side L is in a region of uniform electric field E. Okay, find the electric flux through each face of the cube and the total flux through the cube when A, it is oriented with two of its faces perpendicular to E. Okay. And B, the cube is turned by an angle phi, theta, about a vertical axis. So makikita niyo naman yung difference, no? So itong una, yung electric field ay perpendicular through two surfaces of the box. So itong surface na ito at saka itong surface na ito. Okay? Then yung pangalawang case is that may angle na yung surface with respect to the tawag dito, with respect to the electric field. Ano na ngayon yung total electric flux siya? Now, yung flux is a scalar quantity. Napansin niyo naman yun kasi dot product siya ng electric field at saka ng area. So, scalar quantity siya. So, to get the total electric flux, you simply need to add yung, anong tawag dito, yung flux dahil sa bawat surfaces na yan or through each of those surfaces. So, tignan natin. In letter A, anong makikita natin dito? Meron tayong ilang surfaces? 6. Okay. So, alin sa mga surfaces na to, ano-ano yung mga surfaces na magpo-produce ng zero na flux? Okay. And yung reason ay? Okay, yung angle ng mga unit vectors na to ay perpendicular sa electric field. Naintindihan niyo ba na perpendicular sila? Okay. So, mathematically, pwede naman natin silang i-represent. Okay. So, let's say, ano ba yung 1? Yung 1 ay, okay, ito yung 1, di ba? Itong surface na ito. Okay, so yung flux, flux 1 ay equal sa E. Tapos anong size nung anong area nung box nung isang surface? Hindi, pero ano yung given dito? Ah, L. So anong area ng bawat surface? L squared. So E times L squared times cosine ng angle. Okay. So surface 1, ang surface 1 dito ay saan nakaturo ang N1? At saan nakaturo ang electric field? So anong angle between them? 180, di ba? Opposite sila sa isa't isa, di ba? Okay. Okay, so cosine ng 180 degrees. Okay, so ibig sabihin ito ay negative EL squared. Okay? Okay, now let's take a look at phi 2. Okay, so anong phi 2 dito? Ang phi 2 ay itong surface na ito. Okay, or manggagaling mula dyan sa surface na yan. So, for that surface, anong unit vector? N2, okay? Ano yung direction ng N2 with respect to the electric field? Ano yung angle between them? 0. So, dito, ilalagay natin, of course, yung electric field is E, yung area is L squared, and then cosine ng 0, which is E L squared. Okay. Phi 3. Anong angle between N3 and electric field? 90. Okay, so E L squared cosine ng 90 degrees equals sa 0. And then yung phi 4. Okay, asan ang phi 4 dyan? Okay, itong surface na ito, di ba? Itong surface na ito. Okay? So, anong angle between N4 at saka electric field? 90 ulit. So, E L squared cosine ng 90 degrees ay equal to 0. Phi 5. So, E L squared cosine ng anong angle? Okay, ito yung phi 5. Okay, and yung electric field ay pa ganon. So, yung angle between them ay 90. And phi 6. Okay, phi 6 ay nasa baba. Nakaturo pa baba. So, ang angle between that and yung electric field ay 90. So, E L squared cosine ng 90 degrees equal to 0. And pag inad nyo lahat yan, yung total flux ay 0. Okay? May sense ba yan? Bakit? Ah? Ano ibig sabihin tinatakpan niya yung computer? Walang malulus na? Walang malulusutan. Actually, lumulusot siya sa isang surface and then lumalabas sa kabilang surface. Di ba? Oh. Sino nagpalabas? Anong ginawa niya? Pero ito kasi yon, yung number of electric field lines na lumulusot is exactly the same number na lumalabas. Di syempre, magka-cancel sila. Kasi di ba, walang natira sa loob eh. Right? So yung total flux is 0. Okay? Which means na pag ito sinagutan nyo, alam nyo na rin ang total flux dyan. 0. Oo. Pag may sagot kayo na non-zero dyan, ang grade nyo, 0. Okay? And now, the only thing left to do is to show Solution. Okay. Yun. Okay. So, tignan natin. So, letter B na tayo. Letter B. Okay. Sa phi 1. Okay. Asan ang surface 1? Ito ang surface 1. Ang electric field lines ay paganyan. Okay, paganyan. Tapos ito yung N1. So anong angle between them? So syempre yung magnitude is just EL squared pa rin, di ba? So ang cosine na lang to ng 180 minus yung angle na theta. Gets nyo ba? So pag tumingin tayo top view, ang tingin natin, ganito yung magiging itsura niyan. Okay, so ito yung box, di ba? Ito yung electric field lines, right? At ito yung unit vector. Okay? Ito yung angle na theta. Okay? So yung electric field lines ninyo ay paganyan, di ba? So, paganyan. So ang tinatanong is ano yung angle between them, which is this angle. Okay? So it's 180 minus theta. Okay? So 180 minus theta. Alam niyo nang kung paano yan, kung paano ano ang 180 minus theta? Anong cosine ng 180 minus theta? Cos
I guess theta squared plus 180 cos theta plus sine 180 sine theta.
Yes. So anong cosine 180? -1. At ang sine 180? 0. So yung second term mawawala. Di ba? Ang matitira ay -1. Naintindihan niyo ba? Okay. So yung sagot dito is EL squared cosine ng theta. Ay, tama. Cosine ng theta. Kasi cos siya, di ba? Cosine, sine. Okay. Cos. Parang pag naglalaba kayo. Hindi yata kayo nagpapalaba eh. Ay, hindi yata kayo naglalaba. Nagpapalaba lang kayo eh. Hmm. Mahal yung tubig. Buti pa yung tubig, no? Talagang babalik pa rin sa'yo eh. Okay. Asan ang surface 2? Yun. No? Andun. So ito yung N1. Ito ang N2. Okay? So electric field lines ay paganyan. Okay. So, anong angle between yung electric field line at saka yung N2? Theta. Okay. So, good. So, ito ay EL squared cosine lang ng theta. Okay. So, phi 3. Okay. Asa ng phi 3? Okay. So, if you look at yung figure, andito yung N3 na unit vector. Okay. At ito yung electric field line. Okay. So, anong angle between them? So, kung ito ay angle na theta, asan ang angle na theta dito? Anong angle to? Theta din, di ba? Okay. So, ano ngayon ang phi 3? Flux through this surface? 180. Teka. Teka lang. Baka mali ako. So ito ay theta, ito ay 90. So this is anong angle ito? This is 180. Ito tinatanong ko, anong angle to? Oops. So 180 minus 90 minus theta. Tama? Ano yun? 90 minus theta. So ang angle na ito is actually 90 minus theta. Okay. So, yan ay EL squared cosine ng 90 minus theta. Nakuha niyo ba? Nakuha niyo? Okay. So, anong cosine ng 90 minus theta? EL squared sine theta. Okay? So, check niyo na lang na tama yung sagot dyan. Okay. And then for flux 4, okay, ito ngayon yung N4 na unit vector. So, anong angle to ngayon? Anong angle ito ngayon? Anong angle between them? 90 minus 90 minus theta. Tama ba? Tama. So again, ito ang angle na theta. Anong angle ito? Ninety minus theta. Okay, so ibig sabihin ang angle na to ay EL squared cosine ng may mali yata ah. May mali. Ha? Ano yung sa 3? Bakit siya plus? Oo, plus siya. Plus. Kasi it's 180 minus 90 plus theta. Ay, hindi, 90. So, ibig sabihin, ano siya, 90 minus theta siya, di ba? 90.
Sir,
Hindi.
pero kung ano yung nasa side, may angle ng angle, yung angle since may sa may positive,
Ay, tanga. Oo nga. Oo nga. Oo nga. Dito lang kayo nakakarinig ng teacher na umaamin na tanga siya. Tama ba? Ang angle na tinitignan natin is angle between. Kasi itong tinitignan ko eh. Oo. Angle between them. Oo. So, yung angle between them is 90 plus theta. Okay? Sorry. Yan, 90 plus theta. So, in this case, ito ay magiging negative. Okay? Ito naman magiging EL squared sine theta. Okay, yan. Okay na yan. And then 5, 5. Ang 5 ano dito? So, ito yung N5. With respect to the electric field, it's perpendicular. Diba? So, EL squared cosine ng 90 is 0. And then phi 6, ganun din, EL squared cosine ng 90 is 0. So if you add all of these together, ang lalabas ay 0. Okay, which is intuitively, alam natin na dapat yun yung sagot. Okay, kasi yung number of field lines na pumapasok is the same as yung number of field lines na lumalabas. Okay? Okay na? Okay. Ay, ba't na doble? Yan, yun na. Okay, ngayon, ito naman tignan natin. So sabi natin kanina, the best surface is when the electric field lines are uniform throughout that surface. Kasi what will that do for us? It will allow us to remove yung electric field outside of the integral. Kasi uniform siya eh. Constant na siya eh, di ba? So, that will mean na area na lang kailangan i-compute. So, ito yung isang example. No? May positive charge ka sa loob ng sphere. Okay? At yung positive charge na yan ay merong value na magnitude na 3.0 microcoulomb. Okay? Yung surface charge dito ay ay sphere at ang radius ng sphere na yan is 0.2 meters. Okay? At centered siya on the charge. Okay, so find the resulting electric flux through the sphere. So we start with the expression for the Gauss tawag dito for Gauss law. Okay, now ano yung electric field na pinoproduce nung point charge? In this case, alam niyo na yan. Okay, KQ over R squared. At yung unit vector dito, since ito ay radius naman, hindi na tayo magka-Cartesian, di ba? Wag na natin pahirapan sarili natin. Instead, yung unit vector gawin nating radial. Di ba? So yung unit vector na gagamitin natin ay R hat. Okay, so R hat meaning radial yung yung unit vector. Later on, okay, pagdating niyo sa 122, physics 122, makikita nyo na merong iba pang coordinate system other than Cartesian coordinate system. Hindi, ewan ko tuturo din yata yan sa Math 54. Polar coordinates, ano yun, pag ganyan, di ba? Cylindrical yun. And then meron kang spherical polar coordinates na bilog talaga. So may radius, may azimuth, at saka may polar. Okay? So ito ay radial na unit vector. Okay, find the resulting, okay, so yan yung electric field dahil sa point charge na yan. Okay. Ano ngayon yung dA? Okay, yung differential na area. Okay. Anong area nito? Anong area ba na yan? Yung section lang ng ano na yan ng hindi siya rectangle kasi 'di ba sa surface siya ng sphere eh. So medyo curved din siya, 'di ba? Medyo curved din siya. Right? Right?
Maliit lang.
Oh, yun nga hinahanap natin. A. Ganito na lang. Ano bang area ng sphere? Area, hindi volume, ng sphere. Surface area ng sphere. Circle yan sinasabi nyo. Oo. Ano yan? Circumference ng circle yung sinasabi nyo. Okay?
4 pi r
4 pi r squared. Okay. 4 pi r squared. Okay, so yung buong area na yan is 4 pi. Actually, ganito yan, ano? Tignan natin kung tama. Ang area ng sphere na yan is 4 pi r squared. So yung differential na area niya is
4 8 pi r.
AR. Okay? And kung unit vector siya, kung vector siya, then may r hat tayo dyan. Okay? It points away from the surface. So, yan yung DA. Okay, so ipapasok na natin ngayon yan dun sa integral natin. Okay, so KQR squared dali. Wait lang. Wait. Okay, definitely meron nga akong maling ginawa. Okay, so hindi ko yata dapat kinuha yung DA. Okay, hindi, pinifigure out ko lang kung paano ko i-explain sa inyo eh. Kasi iba, definitely iba yung solution or iba yung approach sa book. Pero hindi intuitive na yung DA. Kasi sa book, DA is equal to 4 pi r squared na kagad yung nilagay niya and then unit vector na r. Pero hindi siya differential kasi. Okay, hindi siya differential na integral. Okay, sige. Anyway, yan na lang muna yung sundan natin kung ano yung nasa book. Para lang, and then i-figure out ko later. So 4 pi r squared unit vector now. Asan na yun? Unit vector na r. Okay, so 4 pi r squared r hat. Okay, then may r hat ka dito and then dots. So ang matitira dyan, syempre yung KQ ilalabas natin, magka-cancel yung r squared. Okay, and then yung 4 pi ilalabas din natin. So 4 pi, 4 pi KQ, and then ang natira na lang actually ay, actually walang natira, di ba? R dot R. And that's just one. So wala ka nang ini-integrate dyan. So yan na yung nangyari. And then if you recall, yung K is 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught. Okay, cancel ito. So yung flux through that surface is kung ano man yung laman na charge inside the surface divided by epsilon naught. Okay? So now we know yung flux. Okay. Bakit ano? Bakit ano? Ano yung tatanggapin? Ha? Di ba may r hat ka na unit vector dito? Dahil dito sa electric field, dot product, and then may r hat ka pa na unit vector dito dahil sa A, dA. So r hat dot r hat. Unit vector sila pareho. So essentially 1 times 1 lang sila. Gets? Oh, yun nga yung dilemma ko eh kasi dapat nga may DR eh. Yun yung iniisip ko eh. Kaya ako nagpo-pause. Hindi, iba yung solution sa book. Okay? Anyway, yun yung fini-figure out ko. Sige, anyway. Anong important na result dito? Ang important na result dito is when you select a surface, okay, where the electric field is uniform, okay, ang tawag dito, ang lalabas na flux ay magdedepend lang sa kung ano yung laman na charge dun sa loob ng surface na yon. At yung laman na charge dun sa loob is just Q. It doesn't depend on anything else. So yung flux is just yung laman na charge na Q divided by epsilon naught. Yes.
Sir, yes, no.
Sige lang, go.
Yung ilang po yung substrate, tapos yung B po yung nasa loob. So, pag in-integrate po, ilabas ko lahat ng P. Tapos kapag in-integrate ko yung B, mag-iilig A, then substitute po yung A, mag-iilig po.
Pakiulit.
Yung ilang, di ba po, integral of P with respect to A.
Mhm.
Then yung E po yung ilalabas lang.
Hindi mo pwede ilabas kasi may 1 over r squared ka eh.
Well, bawal po yun, kasi with respect to B po.
Hindi. Kasi yung DA, yun nga yung pinapoint out ko eh. Yung DA kasi ay dependent sa DR. Di ba? So, dinefine mo siya in terms of DR. Kaya yun. Pero thank you. Thank you for that suggestion. Sige.
Let's do that. Wait, hindi. Nice try.
Okay? Sige, babalikan ko yan. Pero, now, this is an important result kasi this is actually, tawag dito, a general result. Okay? Gauss discovered na yung flux, which is equal to the integral of E dot dA, okay, ay equal sa kung gaano karaming mount charge yung nandoon sa loob divided by epsilon naught. Regardless kung anong klaseng system yan. Okay? So, he discovered actually a general equation and not just for yung single na point charge. Okay, so now there is a way to solve for the electric field gamit itong Gauss law. Okay? Just by using yung equation na yun na binax ko. Now, kung mapapansin nyo, first of all, pansin nyo lang na mayroong bilog dun sa dun sa integral na sign. Yung bilog na yan means na surface integration yung ginagawa dito. So it's a surface integral. Okay, sa physics kasi maraming mga surface integral. Pagdating nyo sa electromagnetism, isang katutak yan. Masakit ang ulo sa EM 171, 172. Ang daming integration dyan. Oo. Okay. So yun. Anyway, ang point dito is, yan na yung general equation, okay, that will help you solve for the electric field of a system. And that general equation is called Gauss law. Okay? So ang sinasabi ng Gauss law is the total electric flux through a closed surface is equal to the total net electric charge inside the surface divided by epsilon naught. Okay? Okay. Enclosed surface dapat So dapat yung surface na pipiliin nyo ay kino-close niya totally yung ini-enclose niya totally yung charge. Oo, definitely. Kasi for example ito yun. Yan, open yung surface, di ba? Definitely may flux talaga dyan kasi lumulusot lang siya through the surface. Okay? Okay? Gauss. Oh, sakto, di ba? Friday the 13th, pinag-usapan natin si Gauss. Ha? Hindi mo na-gets? Explain ko? Okay, sige. Break muna tayo ng 10 minutes. Balik tayo ng 11:40. Grabe, di pala mo. Wala magtubog. Kailangan, may ano ba? May timeline ba? Kasi Saturday na yung ano. Dapat mabalikan ka na, di ba? Shit, naka-record tayo ngayon. Oo. So pag nanonood kayo ng napanood dito, may konting portion na ano, medyo fun. Anyway, so balik tayo dito. Okay, so this electric field actually is a constant. Kasi, di ba nga, sinabi nga natin na pare-pareho kasi sila ng distance na r. Diba? So, yung electric field dyan sa surface ay constant. Meaning, pwede mo siya actually ilabas dun sa integral. Ang matitira is integral nito. Na pag in-integrate mo, becomes this one. Okay? Okay? So, I think mas may sense yun. Kaya ko lang pinag-iisipan yun kanina kasi iniisip ko na itong r na to is a variable. Itong r sa r, 1/r² is a variable. When in fact, hindi kasi nga constant. Okay, pare-pareho ng distance. So, kaya siya pwede ilabas. So, I hope mas sensible yun na explanation. Okay, kasi yung kanina na wala talagang sense. Pero anyway, ang point nga na gusto natin palabasin dito is that by deriving this, we actually derive a general expression to determine the electric field of any due to any type of system. Okay? And yan yung na-discover ni Gauss. Gauss. Okay? So yun yung Gauss. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so for this first example, okay, so let's use Gauss law dito. Gauss nga yata Bumabalik na sa memory ko yung yung kung paano siya binibigkas. So E dot dA, okay? Ngayon yung E, alam natin na pag point charge is KQ over R squared. R hat. Dotted to, yung area is 4 pi R squared R hat. Okay, and ang lalabas dyan is yung Q, positive Q over epsilon naught. Essentially, yan yung enclosed na charge. Pag dito naman sa baba, yung phi of E ay equal sa negative KQ over R squared. Negative kasi yung charge ay negative. And then R hat dotted to 4 pi R squared R hat, which gives us negative Q over epsilon naught. And yung negative Q na yan yung enclosed na charge nung surface na pinili natin. Okay, and the reason kung bakit hindi tayo nag-integrate, kasi nga, yung surface na pinili natin is a symmetric surface such that yung electric field sa surface is uniform. Okay? Yes. Yes. Okay? Okay. Any questions? Okay, so simple example pa lang yan. Huwag kayong mag-alala. Ay, actually, mag-alala kayo kasi magiging komplikado na. Ha? Okay, now, this one is more conceptual. Okay, so yung figure shows the field produced by 2-point charges. Okay, positive Q and negative Q. So that pag meron kayong ganung dalawang charges na ganyan, positive tsaka negative charge, ang tawag sa kanila ay dipole. Okay? Dipole, kasi dalawang pole. So find the electric flux through each of the closed surfaces A, B, C, and D. So, okay, ito yung closed surface na A, ito yung surface na B, yan yung surface na D, and yung purple ay yung surface na C. Okay, so ano yung flux dun sa surfaces na yan? Okay, so sa surface na A, ano yung flux? Again, just determine kung ano yung enclosed na charge. Anong charge ini-enclose ng surface A? Positive Q. So yung flux dyan is positive Q over epsilon naught. Okay, dito. Negative, yung surface na B is, ang ini-enclose yung surface is negative Q, so yung flux is negative Q over epsilon naught. Yung surface C, anong total charge na ini-enclose niya?
Negative.
So, ang total charge na enclose niya ay 0. So, ang flux through surface C ay 0. And sa surface D, meron ba siyang ini-enclose na charge? Remember, it's enclosed. Kung ano ini-enclose niya? 0. 0 yan kasi unang-una wala siya na-enclose na charge. And kanina nga sa previous example, kung ano yung pumapasok sa kanya na electric field lines, ganun din karami yung lumalabas sa electric field lines. So nagka-cancel yung dalawang electric field lines na yan. So yung flux is 0. Okay. O, di ba medyo straightforward, medyo madaling intindihin dahil sa Gauss law. Yes, Gauss. Anyway. Oh. Okay, now tignan natin itong conducting na sphere. So, this is no longer a point charge, but instead we have a sphere, okay, that is conducting. Okay, bakit importante na conducting yung sphere? Pag yung material is conducting, yung charges stay at the surface. Okay, walang charge na magsistay sa loob. Okay? And that's really important, especially sa tunay na buhay. Okay, bakit? Okay. Hindi ko alam kung nakakapanood kayo ng mga videos nung mga, for example, mga kidlat na tumatama sa vehicles, for example. Hindi ko alam kung nakakapanood kayo ng ganun. Now, if it just happens na nasa loob kayo ng isang vehicle, okay, tapos biglang may naputol na poste, okay, electrical line, tumama sa kotse ninyo, tapos yung electrical cable ay nandoon sa kotse, huwag kayong matakot. Okay? Huwag kayong magpanik pala. Okay lang matakot. Pero importante is huwag magpanik. Kasi physics tells us na yung charges will only remain on the surface of metallic objects. So as long as you're inside and not touching the surface, okay pa kayo. Okay? Oo, okay pa kayo. Kaya nga wag kayo magpanik. Okay lang matakot. Okay? Kasi nakakatakot naman talaga yung sitwasyon na yun. Okay. So, ang tawag dito? So how do you get out? Siyempre, bubuksan niyo yung door, di ba? And wag niyo i-touch yung surface, yung metal surface. Oh, ito pa yung clincher diyan. Wag kayong mag-create ng complete na circuit, which means na wag niyong iapak yung paa ninyo habang nasa loob kayo ng kotse. Kasi yung surface, yung ground na yan, kaya siya tinawag na ground kasi nagko-collect yan ng charge. Punong-puno yan ng charge. Once na umapak kayo at may electrical line na nandiyan na nasa paligid lang, pag inapak niyo yung paa ninyo, tapos nasa loob kayo ng kotse, sigurado. Okay? So ang ginagawa ng iba, bubuksan nilang todo yung pinto, tatalon sila na yung dalawang paa nila ay nakadikit. Nakadikit. Bakit nakadikit? Kasi pag inopen niyo yan, magpo-form kayo ng complete circuit at iikot ulit yung kuryente sa feet. Okay? So kailangan nakadikit. Okay? At kung maglalakad kayo nakadikit, ay tatalon kayo actually, hindi kayo maglalakad. Hindi niyo i-open yung ano niyo, yung legs niyo na ganun. Okay? So yun yung well, itong simple na concept na to actually is really significant. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Pag insulating material, distributed yung charges dun sa surface. Okay? Distributed siya sa loob. Okay, now, since this metal is a conducting material, so yung charges remain on the surface. Okay. So, ang question dito is to find electric field at any point inside or outside the sphere. So ang gagawin natin is pipili tayo ng surface. Okay, nakalimutan ko sabihin. Ang tawag sa mga surfaces na ito, okay, yung mga surfaces na yan na sinasabi natin kanina pa, ang tawag sa mga yan ay Gaussian surface. Hindi ko lang nabanggit kanina. So, ang gagawin natin dito is pipili tayo ng Gaussian surface. Okay? Depende kung saan natin gustong malaman yung electric field. So, if we want to know the electric field inside the the conducting sphere, so yung Gaussian surface na pipiliin natin ay nandito sa loob. Yan yung Gaussian surface na pipiliin natin. Okay? So, inside, we have that Gaussian surface at ano yung ini-enclose niya na so inside is R yung small r is the radius of the Gaussian surface and it's less than capital R, which is the radius of the metallic sphere, conducting sphere. So, ano yung ini-enclose na charge ng Gaussian surface? Tingnan nyo lang, meron ba siyang ini-enclose na charge? Wala, kasi nga yung charges nandoon mismo sa surface ng conducting sphere. Gets? Okay. So, yung flux dito is 0. Okay? Kasi walang ini-enclose na charge. There is no enclosed charge. Okay, so ganyan kayo pag magsusulat, pag magde-defend ng answer ninyo sa exam, there's no enclosed charge. Okay, sa next. Ano ba sabi dito? Inside or outside the sphere. Okay, so outside. So halimbawa itong ano na to. Well, actually dito muna, dito. Halimbawa itong Gaussian, yan ang piliin natin na Gaussian surface exactly at R equals R. So at R equals R, ano yung flux? Ano yung charge? Positive. Total positive charge is Q over epsilon naught. Ngayon, pinapahanap yung electric field, di ba? So, we use the Gauss law. So, E dot dA is equal to Q over epsilon naught. Now, we know na pag pinili natin itong Gaussian surface na to, yung electric field is uniform dyan sa surface na yan. So, pwede na natin siyang ilabas sa integral. Ang matitira ay integral ng dA. Pero ano bang integral ng surface na yan? 4 pi capital R squared. Kasi R is equal to R. Right? Okay. So, equal to sa Q over epsilon naught. So, yung electric field at R equals, small r equals R, capital R is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q over R squared. Okay, ito yung nakikita nyo rito. Okay. Okay, now, piliin natin Gaussian surface ito. Okay, so hindi niya na dinrawing yung buong sphere, okay? So ang layo ng surface na to is 2r. Okay, from the center. So at r equals 2r, then ang mangyayari dito is gagawin pa rin natin ito, gagawin natin ito. Pero ito, yung surface ngayon ay magiging equal na sa 4 pi times 2r squared. Yan. Okay, so, and then equal yan sa Q over epsilon naught. So, yung E dito ngayon is 1/4 ng 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q over R squared. Naintindihan niyo kung paano nangyari yan? Okay. Okay? So, kaya dito nakalagay E of R over 4. So, from here, you double the distance, the electric field decreases by 4 times. Okay? Now, sa 3R, so at R equals 3R, ang mangyayari dito is E times 4 pi 3R squared. So, equals sa Q over epsilon naught. So, yung E dito is 1 over 9, 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q over R squared. So, it decreased. If you triple the distance, okay, the electric field decreases by 9 times. Okay? Okay. So when you graph yung electric field as a function of distance, so 0 inside the surface, and then biglang magkakaroon ng value, which is this one, and then it decreases, okay, by 1 over R squared. Okay, so 1 over R, kasi di ba yung E is 1 over R squared. Proportion as 1 over R squared. Okay, so ito ngayon yung behavior ng electric field inside and outside the surface. Pero anong ginawa natin dito? Ang ginawa natin dito is hindi natin alam yung electric field, but we used Gauss law to determine yung electric field. And this is how we did it. Okay? No, pumili tayo ng Gaussian surface, tinignan natin kung anong laman ng Gaussian surface na yon, and then inequate natin sa integral ng E dot dA. We just made sure na yung surface ay uniform yung electric field, okay? Para mailabas natin yung E sa integral, okay? All we needed to do was to integrate over dA, which is determine basically yung surface ng area ng surface, ng Gaussian surface. Ayos? Yes.
Yun yung, iba yun.
Ha? Ano yung hindi mo naiintindihan? Oo nga. Ano nga yung hindi mo naiintindihan? Ano yung hindi mo naiintindihan? So, dito, ito yung magnitude niya, di ba?
Yes.
By increasing yung distance by twice, 2 times, nag-decrease siya 4 times. Oh, graph lang siya talaga. Graph siya talaga. Ayan, electric field versus distance out. Hindi. Graph siya. That represents yung electric field as a function of distance.
Yes.
Okay? Sige. Any more questions? Yes. Mag-integrate kayo. Ha? Anong 2 times? Bakit 2 times? Hindi, kung wala kang Gauss law, wala kang Gaussian surface. Oo. Diba? And then babalik tayo doon sa method na ginawa natin before. Na anong tawag dito? Nag-integrate tayo. So, naalala nyo ba yung ginagawa doon? Ginamit natin Cartesian coordinates. Tapos, di ba? Nag-determine tayo ng isang point. Tapos tinignan natin kung ano yung electric field at that point. Okay. Yes, exactly. So yun yung magre-resort tayo sa ganong klaseng method. Okay? Mm. Mhm. Mhm. Okay? Okay, sige. Ito na. Dito tayo pumunta. Okay. So, ito ay line of charge. And we actually know kung ano yung electric field due to the line of charge. Naalala niyo ba? Tingnan niyo yung notes niyo from last meeting. Ano na? Lambda equals? Hindi, pa rin electric field. Electric field dahil sa ano. Tama yun na lambda is equal to Q over A. Q over L. line of charge yan eh, Q over L. Ah, yan.
Field is equals to KQ over X.
Okay.
X squared.
Pero and then nag-assume tayo ng infinite na ano, di ba? So, yun. Lambda 2 pi, walang epsilon. Merong epsilon nga dun.
2K lambda over. Wait,
2k lambda over x.
when A is
Or, so 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught 2 lambda over x. Yung x is layo nung ano, di ba? Layo. And naalala nyo kung paano natin dinerive yan, di ba? Sa katutak na integration na ginawa natin. Right? Okay. Now, let's do it the Gaussian style. Yan yung line of charge. Ngayon, ano ang pipiliin natin na surface? Okay, such that yung electric field sa surface na yan ay constant. Ano kayang surface yung pipiliin natin? Paano nyo alam na cylinder? Galing ah. Galing. Yes! Bakit cylinder? Kasi distance from the line towards the surface of the cylinder ay pare-pareho. Di ba? Okay. Ngayon, siguro tatanungin nyo, or baka hindi, paano tong surface na to? At paano yung surface na yan? Right. Kasi yung electric field ay paganyan. Itong surface na ito, ang unit vector niya ay paganyan, di ba? Nag-enjoy kayo yung kabilang klase katulad ng nag-enjoy kayo? O peke-peke lang i-enjoy nyo? Oh. Okay. Sige. Okay, so in other words, wala na tayong pakialam doon sa magkabilang dulo. It's still a closed surface, pero alam natin yung magkabilang dulo will give us zero flux. Okay? So, ngayon, compute na natin yung flux. Check. Okay. Ano ngayon yung, sabi sa Gauss law, it's the enclosed charge over epsilon lang. Ngayon, ano ang ini-enclose na charge nitong surface na ito? So, nag-define tayo ng lambda. Sinabi mo kanina yung lambda, it's Q, di ba, over L. Okay? That's right. So, yung Gaussian surface na yan ngayon, okay, will enclose a charge. Ba? Yung charge na yon is lambda times L. Yan yung ini-enclose nyo na charge. Tama? Okay, so ilalagay ko rito lambda times L over epsilon naught. Okay? Okay, so yan actually yung left-hand side ng Gauss law. Okay, yan yung left-hand side ng Gauss. Right-hand side, sorry. Right-hand side ng Gauss law. O, doon tayo sa left-hand side. So, phi E equal to integral ng E dot dA. Okay. Sabi natin, pinili natin yung Gaussian surface in such a way na constant siya. So, pwede na natin siya ilabas sa integral. So, E. And then, yung integral ng dA is nothing but yung area ng cylinder. Anong area ng cylinder? So, kung ang radius is R at ang length ng cylinder is L, anong area niya? Ha? Bakit pa yung R squared L? Hindi, yung surface lang. Yung surface lang. Kasi di ba wala tayong pakialam dun sa ends eh. Di ba? So, ano yung circumference? And then yung length? Hindi. So, ano ang area? 2 pi RL. 2 pi RL. And equal tong dalawa na to, di ba? According to Gauss law. Tama? Okay, so E 2 pi RL is equal to Q enclosed, mali. Is equal to lambda L over epsilon naught. Yung L magka-cancel. Okay, so yung E ay equal sa lambda over 2 pi r 2 pi epsilon naught r or 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught 2 lambda over r. Tama? Okay lang? Remember na yung x is the distance from the line of charge. Eh dito, r yung ginamit niya. So now we have derived exactly the same equation for the electric field for a line of charge using Gauss law without much integration. Naintindihan niyo ba yung nangyayari? Parang hindi ko parang shock kayo. Meron kayong electrical shock. Okay? Sabihin niyo, ba't pa kasi tinuro yung lesson na yun? Pakahirap-hirap pa. Yes.
Included since it's perpendicular to the clock.
Yes. Okay? Any questions? Nag-gets niyo ba? Kung anong nangyari dito? Tiwala. Tiwala na lang. Okay, sige, may konti pa tayong time. I'm going to skip one or two exercise kasi gusto kong pumunta dito. Dito, naalala niyo ba kung anong electric field? Okay, anong dinerive natin na electric field dito? E is equal to ano? Hindi, di ba? Kasi ano na to plate na yan So area siya, di ba? So dito naman surface, ang tawag dito, charge, anong tawag dito? Surface charge density, di ba? Which is sigma. Oo. So kung naalala nyo, it's sigma over 2 epsilon. Okay? Okay. So two large plane parallel conducting plates are given charges of equal magnitude and opposite sign. The surface charge densities are sigma and negative sigma. Okay, surface charge densities. Okay, find the electric field in the region between the plates. So anong electric field between the plates? So dito nag-define na siya ng Gaussian surface. So ang Gaussian surfaces ay S1, S2, S3, tsaka S4. So sa Gaussian surface na S1, okay, ano yung anong tawag dito? Ano yung electric field? Remember, it's the enclosed charge, di ba? So positive. Sigma over 2 epsilon naught. Sinabi na natin kanina di ba? Na over 2 epsilon naught siya. Para sa surface 1. Okay, para sa surface 1, ang electric field is sigma over 2 epsilon naught. Para sa surface 2, yun yung na-derive natin before, di ba?
But if two pluses, but it's not going to be reflected. There's like two positives in S1. It's not gonna be.
Hindi. Representation lang yan. It's not literally two positive charges. Parang naglagay lang tayo ng Gaussian surface dyan, and it can be any number of charges. Representation lang yung plastic. Surface 2. Dahil walang enclosed charge, di ba? Sa labas, wala. S3, 0 kasi walang enclosed charge. And then S4, okay. Yan na. Pwede na kayong mag-exam. Now, in this case, insulator naman. Okay, ano sinabi natin pag insulator? Distributed yung charge inside the inside the material. Okay, so throughout the volume distributed yung charge. Okay, so ang gagawin dito is determine yung electric field inside the tawag dito, a positive charge positive electric charge capital Q is distributed uniformly throughout the volume of an insulating sphere with radius r. So find the magnitude of the electric field at point P, a distance r from the center of the sphere. Okay, so yung r dito ay nasa loob ng material, okay, ng volume. Okay, first of all, ang total charge is Q. So ang volume charge density, ano nang ginagamit nila na ano dito? Symbol for volume charge density. Tama. Rho. Ang volume charge density is yung total charge over ano bang volume ng sphere na to? Okay, capital R cube. Okay? So. Okay? Okay. Now, tawag dito, pumili siya ng Gaussian surface at yung Gaussian surface niya ay yan yung purple. Okay. Now, how much charge ang ini-enclose ng Gaussian surface na yan? Okay, ngayon, kaya ako tinatanong yan kasi if you want to find the electric flux, kailangan natin makuha yung charge enclosed, di ba? So, yun yung tanong. How much charge ang ini-enclose nung Gaussian surface na yan? And remember, the charges are uniformly distributed. Okay, so in other words, yung ratio ng charge to volume is the same regardless kung gaano kalaki yung sphere. Okay? In other words, yung rho na yan is the same regardless kung gaano kalaki yung sphere. And if the sphere is na may radius na small r, ang volume niya is 4/3 pi r, 4/3 pi small r cube. Okay? So, 4/3 pi r cube. Ano yung nasa numerator? Yun yung, anong klaseng Q? Hindi. Kasi may Gaussian surface guys. So, yan yung ini-enclose niya na charge. Di ba? Di ba? Hindi. Ganyan lang. Enclosed na charge. Enclosed na charge divided by yung volume. Okay? Overthink. Okay, so pwede kong isulat ito as Q enclosed equal to, cancel ko na yung cancel ko na yung 4/3 pi. Okay? Times Q small r cube over capital R cube. Kailan ba yan? Okay? So, ito ngayon is Q small r cube over capital R cube and then epsilon. Okay? Yan yung right-hand side ng Gauss law. Ang left-hand side ng Gauss law is integral ng E dot dA. Again, ang pinili natin na surface is a sphere. Uniform yung electric field inside that sphere kasi uniformly distributed yung charges dyan. Okay? So, yung electric field na yan pwede natin ilabas sa integral. Tama? Okay. So, ano ngayon ang matitira? It's integral of dA. Pero yung integral ng dA is the surface area of that Gaussian sphere. Anong surface area ng Gaussian sphere na yan? 4 pi r, yung small r gagamitin natin. Tama? Okay, so 4 pi r squared. Equal silang dalawa, di ba? According to Gauss law. Di ba? Okay. So, E 4 pi r squared ay equal sa Q r cubed epsilon naught capital R cubed, or E is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught. Magka-cancel yung R squared with the R cubed dito. Ang matitira is Q R over R cubed. So yan na yung electric field inside, okay, inside the material. Okay, note na yung electric field ay linear with small r. So in other words, yung electric field na yan, okay, increases linearly, okay, from the center as it goes outside, as it goes to the surface. Okay, at yung relationship na yon is given by this equation. Okay? Okay. Now outside is the same story. Okay? Tulad nung na-derive natin sa tawag dito sa metallic, conducting na sphere. Okay, nagigets niyo na ba kung paano ginagamit yung Gauss law? Yes. Mhm. Yes. Yung ano?
Yung 4 pi r squared mo. Nanggaling po ba?
Yes. Integral ng dA, which is yung integral ng dA is yung surface yung surface area ng Gaussian sphere, Gaussian surface. Gets? So ito yung Gaussian surface mo, anong surface area niya? Yung purple Oh, yung small r. 4 pi small r squared. Okay. Any more questions? Excuse. Any more questions? Yes. Yes. Okay.